What's going on, everybody? So I just got back from getting dry ice. It took me forever to find a place that sold it around here. I had to drive an hour there and an hour back just to go get it, but got 20 pounds of dry ice and we are ready to get started on stripping the sound deadening out of this thing. All right, make sure if you're messing with these things, have some sort of gloves, like welding gloves. MIG welding gloves would work. I actually have real snow gloves. They seem to be working pretty well, but the way that I'm doing it, mixing a couple batches at a time in a separate container. So I don't want to waste it too much. And then once I throw it in here, crush it all up. And then add in some rubbing alcohol. And then I just mix it up a little bit more. And it's ready to dump on it. You can see this is my last batch from when I did the driver's side just a second ago. I still have some left over, but I'm going to add this to it to help speed it up. Gotta let it sit. You'll hear cracking. And that's the actual seam sealer, like the resin lifting up from the metal. So once you hear the cracking for a little while, then you can actually start. It's going to be easier if you wait a little bit longer though than it would be if you just try to start doing it right away. Once you get to the point where you got most of it and it's just lifted up and all you have to do is really kind of scrape it up, it'd be best to like move your stuff to the next section. That way it doesn't get wasted in an area that it already broke free enough. So there's areas like this that are kind of fused with the seam sealer, as you can see, and they don't really come up with the dry ice method. So these areas you'll have to actually use like a wire wheel, chisel and a hammer and stuff like that to get it off. So it's better not even waste the dry ice on there and to just move to another area that it'll actually come up and be beneficial. So now we got to figure out how to do the transmission tunnel in all these weird areas, as well as up on the firewall. Got to come up with some sort of solution because I don't want to just sit there and hold it the whole time, but I guess if that's what we have to do, that's what we got to do.
that suction really sucked. The transmission tunnel really was a terrible place to get at. I don't know, it was like really stuck on there compared to some of the other areas. The firewall went really easy. I only had to hold it on there for like a minute and then it like popped right off. Same with that side. This part of the transmission tunnel went pretty easy, but pretty much all of the actual cabin is done. But I still have all of this back here. But I am almost out of dry ice. I only bought 20 pounds, thought it'd be enough, and it wasn't at all. So I only got about 4 pounds left, so I can probably get the rear bench, and that'll probably be it until I get more, which it'll be a while until I do, because I'll be able to get most of my seam welding done with what I did remove, so I'm not going to really worry about the trunk until I get to that point a little bit later on.
Alright, well, if you're planning on doing this, I would definitely recommend overbuying dry ice. Like I said, I ran out, and it would definitely make it a lot easier if you just had an abundant supply. It isn't very cheap though. It's about $22 for 10 pounds over here. So it will get kind of expensive, but you probably need at least 30 to 40 pounds to do the entire car, because I'm probably going to have to go buy 20 more pounds. That's about $110 worth of dry ice. Kind of expensive, but you really don't need anything other than dry ice and like $3 worth of alcohol to get this out, and I just use a screwdriver for everything else. I'm going to scoop up the rest of it that's in the cab right now and throw it in the trash can, because I'm curious to see how much it weighs. I've done about 50% like you guys saw. So we'll actually see how much it weighs in total when I get the rest of it out. Well, let's see how much it weighs with the trusty bathroom scale. The trash can weighs about 1.5 pounds, so we'll see. It's not bad. About 15 pounds worth of stuff taken out so far, so maybe 30 total once I actually get the back end out. Okay, well that's all I've got for this one. I'm going to continue chipping away at the sound deadening off camera, because there's really nothing else for you guys to see. It could go on for another 15 minutes of just watching me sped up hammering away at this stuff. So not really much more to it than what I've shown. Get the alcohol, get the dry ice, and get plenty of dry ice, and then just do section by section. Usually leave it on there for like 5 minutes, and once you hear like the cracking stop, that's the best time to actually start hammering away at it. Next thing that we're going to be doing to this after we finish this, removing all the seam sealer and starting to seam weld this thing, so definitely stay tuned for that. That'll be probably tomorrow if I got time, but yeah, see you guys then.